Connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, you know, the actions you can take out your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest.
Good morning.
Patti Gregory is with us. Haven Realty, welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you. Happy to be here the day before Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Hey, let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And of course, we're celebrating today. We're still, still a little off, Josh. National Cranberry Relish Day. Again, isn't that tomorrow? Are we going to have cranberry relish both days? I don't know. Now, the one I can get behind, I'm looking here also, National Taiwan Day. And it's kind of funny because being old as I am, I'm looking at this and I say Taiwan. And then I see a picture of a person tying an apron. That's not what I thought of when I saw Taiwan. Just throw that out there. A little bit different, but maybe Taiwan has a different name or a different meaning. Let's move on and see what's going on in the world before I get in trouble. Dow Jones Industrial Average, it's up 219 points. Who cares? The S&P 500 is up 25. The NASDAQ is up 94. Why don't I care? Because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. And the markets we got the last bit of news before the holiday. Came out at 7 o'clock our time. Consumer confidence report. We'll talk about that in the mortgage minute. But once that's out, all the traders are gone. They've left. They're out for the holiday. They'll be back on Monday. So what does that mean? It means that we're going to see extreme volatility. Why? Because there's not a lot of volume. When there's not a lot of volume, little things have a bigger impact. Now, if the president were awake this morning, and we do have our friend Mindy trying to help wake up the president, oil is down at $74.78 a barrel. Great time for him to go and replenish the strategic petroleum reserves. Go buy oil, Mr. Oh, wait. He's probably already gone for the weekend, too. Not like there's anything going on in the world or anything like that. So just watching these things. We've got the strategic petroleum reserve at its lowest levels. And here, I mean, we had oil was at mid-90s just a few weeks back. We didn't want to replenish the reserves then, but at 74.78, that looks a little more lucrative. But, wait, maybe our transportation secretary is doing something.
You know better than that.
Nah, he's not doing anything either. 10-year Treasury is up a little bit, 4.42. We're watching that. We did get the numbers came out or the commentary from the Federal Reserve yesterday. We saw that there's still a few of the Fed voting members who want to raise interest rates. Again, as you know, my feeling about the Federal Reserve.
Such an idiot.
Yeah, most of them have no clue what's going on. Waiting for more pain before they do anything. So we're just watching that one. I'm not sure I'm all excited. NVIDIA, did you see this one? So NVIDIA beats the street on their earnings, yet their stock price is down. Why? Well, maybe we're finally wising up. The idea here is 25% of NVIDIA's revenue comes from China. And the administration is saying, well, we shouldn't be doing as much business with China. So looking at that, the stock price is down almost 3% today, even though they had a huge quarter, did some great things with the quarter. We'll see what happens with this decoupling. Who knows where that's going to head. We're also watching, I guess, a ceasefire. Ceasefires always seems good to me in Israel and Hamas. Although, you can just tell the difference in cultures. What was the ceasefire? So Israel is getting back 50 hostages and giving up 150 members of Hamas. Tells you what value Israel puts on their people, right? If they're given 3-1, amazing. But that's the way Israel works. They're a lot more civilized than Hamas. Well, you can't, I guess anything is more civilized than Hamas. Just my opinion. And we can see a 4-day ceasefire. That should be good, although I hope that it's not just for Hamas to get more equipment from Iran. So we'll see what happens there. If the president would take care of that, we wouldn't have this problem. But again, he's in Delaware on another vacation. Let's take a look. Gas prices. Ooh, did they go up again in California? I thought they were going down. I'm looking at gas prices right now, $4.94 a gallon in the formerly Golden State. I guess it is down, continuing its way down. I think I paid $4.70 just the other day. Josh, you're still over there, low fours, $4.23. So you're doing a little bit better than we are. Of course, Nevada, I don't think you guys like taxes as much as we do in California. We love to tax ourselves to death. But I think we're leading the country, I believe, in gasoline prices. $4.94 here in California. Unbelievable how we keep doing the same stupid stuff. Arian, our assistant here, our loan officer assistant, $3.32 in Utah. So I must be doing something wrong. Everybody that we work with is in states where gas prices are a whole lot less than what we're paying here. But I guess it is what it is. We like our weather. I mean, can you believe Monday we had wind? I hate the wind. So Monday we had major windstorms. Yesterday it's 80 degrees out. Today I think it's going to be a little cooler. Tomorrow is going to be beautiful for Thanksgiving. Then we get a little bit of rain coming in. Now, our definition of a little bit of rain means our cars get messed up. That's about it. Not enough to stop the wildfires, but we'll continue watching that. We're also watching what's going on in the housing market. We're always watching the housing market and a lot of the misleading information that's out there. I love to share the information on Ron Siegel Radio, telling you about all the misleading information because there's so many people giving that misleading stuff. Whole idea here is they keep talking about mean house prices. Mean means nothing. That's just an economics term that's static. Don't listen whenever they say the median house price is whatever. The median price means nothing. You want to know what the prices are doing on your street, your neighborhood, and we're going to talk about that this morning because we have the data of what's going on your street, your neighborhood. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, home price is still growing just at a more normal pace. Are there actually more homes for sale right now? We'll talk about that. Then if we get to it, CDs versus high-yield savings account. Which is best for you? All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Hey there, friends. Wondering if now is the right time to buy a home? Or are you waiting for a bunch of foreclosures? The facts speak loud and clear. Defaults and foreclosures are down. Sure, we might be headed towards a recession. But did you know interest rates typically drop and real estate values often go up during a recession? So what are you waiting for? Higher prices or higher payments? Don't navigate these waters alone. Connect with RonSiegelRadio.com today. That's RonSiegelRadio.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990 and every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates. They don't tell us APR, points paid, points received. They tell us locked rates across 42% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. 30-year conforming loans were down yesterday, 7.283. 30-year jumbo loans down yesterday, 7.522. 30-year FHA loans down yesterday, 7.043. 30-year USDA loans, those were down yesterday. That's the rural areas, generally no down payment, 7.05, and the best loan on the market. You have to earn this one. You don't just get it. It's a 30-year VA loan at 6.971. And every morning, as early as we get the data, we do put out a little 2-page report. Sometimes it goes up to 3 pages. rsrmarketminute.com. rsrmarketminute.com. And we put that out there so you can subscribe if you want. We'll send it to you by email, like I said, as early as we can get it. We send that out. rsrmarketminute.com. We've talked about yesterday's numbers. Let's look at what's going on today. S&P 500 is up 20 points right now. We're looking at the 10-year Treasury. That one is up 1 basis point, 4.427. Mortgage-backed securities are down 11 basis points. We like to see those going up because that means interest rates are down. But right now they're down 11 basis points, which means interest rates are a little bit higher. A lot of that has to do with yesterday we got the Fed minutes. They weren't as bad as they usually are. Their meeting had happened 3 weeks ago. And they're a non-event, again, as far as the market this time. We've seen much weaker data since, including a weaker jobs report, cooler inflation data. There was one interesting comment, a few members that said, quote, the process of balance sheet runoff could continue for some time even after committee begins to reduce target range for Fed funds rate, unquote. When the Fed begins cutting, we're thinking that will end their balance sheet runoff or quantitative tightening. Basically, if they don't, they're giving on one hand, taking away on the other hand, so it's an offset. Why would you do that? Although we do know what our feeling is about the Federal Reserve.
Such an idiot.
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising for them to do this thing because Jerome Powell won't even tell the administration that he's trying to cut inflation while they keep spending or putting more money out in the marketplace. Doesn't make much sense. But again, it is the Federal Reserve. Durable goods orders of longer-lasting manufactured goods like cars, home appliances, consumer electronics, furniture, sports equipment. Overall, durable goods orders fell 5.4% in October, which was lower than the 3.1 drop expected. Removing transportation, the index was flat, which was also lower than expectations. Core durable goods were also soft, especially when considering negative 0.7% downward revision to December reading. Bottom line, durable goods orders are softening and are pointing to a weaker economy. Have we been telling you that for a while? Initial jobless claims measures individuals filing for unemployment benefits for the very first time fell 24,000 to 209,000, lower than, which was when it was lower than we were expecting, while November 2021, but they have been climbing consistently, pointing to the fact that it's becoming increasingly harder to find a job. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. Even the home loan that has no mortgage payment and still pays off quicker than the others. That's Geneva Financial. Give them a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And now let's have a chat. Our friend Patti Gregory, Haven Realty, is with us. Good morning, Patti.
Good morning.
So you're out there on the street talking real estate with everybody that you come in contact with. We saw a report that came out, and I'm here in Southern California as you are. Channel 5 said that the median home price is dropping in a report yesterday. Are you seeing prices drop?
I am not seeing that at all.
Yeah, it's I wonder sometime now. Are you seeing more people shopping or looking at the lower end of the price spectrum or at the higher end of the price spectrum?
Well, I have, because I work all over Orange County from the beach to Yorba, Linda, I see kind of everything. Overall, over the last 2 weeks, I've seen it pick up.
Okay, so
on both markets.
Both markets are picking up. Now, is that on buyers out there shopping or sellers looking to sell property?
Actually, both. So I had 2 listing appointments this week that are coming on the market, but I also had 3 buyers that are getting ready, but they're engaging more. They're asking more questions. So I have them set up on my website so I can monitor everybody. And they're saying, yes, send me blank, send me blank. So I think they're getting ready. And they are still waiting for interest rates to come down, no matter how many times I do the math and tell them you're going to pay more if you wait. You can always refinance later. So, but they're getting it.
All right, that's what I was wondering, because we had a little bit of a debate yesterday over my hypothesis, or my thesis was that people are starting to realize that interest rates are interest rates. They are what they are, and we're not going to change it, and they're not going to go down a lot. And my thinking is, since they've been where they've been, a year and a half now, that people are starting to say, okay, well, if I want a new house, I'm going to have to just bite the bullet. Are you seeing something like that, or are they just going to wait?
I think so. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday that, it's 7%. It's so high. I'm not like, no, it's not. If you look back historically, that's on the lower end. They've got to forget the 2s. Unless you're in a 2, it's not even relevant.
Well, one of the things that I ask folks frequently when they tell me, well, I'm going to wait for it to go down that far, is number one, what causes rates to drop like that? Right? It's a very, very bad economy. Do we really want a very, very bad economy?
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that's why rates dropped that low from COVID. Do we want to go back to COVID days? I don't think so. We saw rates drop that way in the Great Recession when we had a lot of people, ironically enough, think about this. I haven't talked to anybody about this, Patti, but maybe you'll have a thought on this. During the days of the Great Recession, which was a recession caused by real estate, it wasn't real estate values dropping because of a recession, but people got into very low rate, adjustable rate loans. And then when they started to normalize, they couldn't afford the payment after that teaser payment was gone. And you wonder how many people are going to start looking and trying to say, well, you know something, I'm going to go into an adjustable rate mortgage right now. And might they get the same shock that happened then?
Could very well happen again.
Yeah, it's I'm just curious about thoughts on things like that. Does anybody even talk about it? We see it in commercial right now.
About it. One thing we're talking about is, no, I haven't heard. I don't think anybody's asked me about an adjustable rate mortgage in months.
Okay, smart. They're smart.
Yeah.
You're starting to hear people see other things.
Well, so I send out active listings every week, and what I call a shiny penny house, those are still flying off the shelf in a few days. But then the ones that are on the market for 30, 40 days, those are the ones where we can do our buy down loans. So I remind people, if we look in that category, we've got a better opportunity. And then with rates at 7, that's a great opportunity.
We think some of the buy downs that we've been doing lately have been buying down 1.5 points. So you think about that. If we're able to negotiate a 1.5 point buy down on a 7% loan, we're looking at
That's
5.5, 5.75. That's a great rate for right now.
Yeah, nobody can argue with that one.
No, it's and it's being done all the time. In fact, we're going to come out with a piece, probably the first part of next week, a buyer's guide, and show, point by point where people should actually be looking. So if they're looking, and I've never looked at the stuff that you're sending out, but does it tell somebody how many days on market a property's been there?
Yeah, we can set up a specific search for that.
So if I were to call you and say, Patti, I only want to look at properties that have been on the market for 25 days or more.
Yeah, super easy. Yes.
That's probably, and so those are going to be people that listed their property at a price. They might have even listed it higher than market value. Right?
Probably.
And they're just saying, I'm going to try
and now
to get
they're
much
getting a reality check. Yes.
You're getting a reality check. So if we go in at it, just from your perspective, Patti, if you go in at a full price offer and ask for, say, a 5% concession, is that going to be more enticing than going in at a 5% below list price?
Oh, 100%, because their payment's going to be so much less.
What about from the seller standpoint? What is the seller going to think?
They're still getting their price. So there's a lot of ego in selling. And
right.
Yeah. Oh, I sold my house for blank.
Yeah. So and that's exactly what I'm wondering is it makes it a little easier
and
because
they can brag that they helped the buyer as well.
So you got bragging right. Yeah, and you can market a property as having a seller assisted payment plan.
Yep, makes for a. I always shoot for happy people on both sides. So you want everybody to get what they want as close as possible, because then it's just better for everyone. Yeah.
Better for everyone. Great information. We're going to continue our conversation with Patti Gregory when we come back. Home prices still growing, just at a more normal pace. We'll talk about it. CDs versus high yield savings accounts. Which is best for you? We'll talk about that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
79% of all credit reports have errors that should be corrected through factual disputing. You could be saving thousands every year if the report was accurate. CreditSanitizer.com provides a free credit report audit when you furnish a specific $1 credit report. You can use this information to request corrections to your report and potentially save thousands of dollars. Get your free credit audit at CreditSanitizer.com. That's CreditSanitizer.com for a free credit report audit. CreditSanitizer.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Home prices still growing. Sorry, KTLA. Sorry, Chapman University. They're just growing at a more normal pace. If you're feeling a bit muddy on what's happening with home prices, that's no surprise. Some people are still saying prices are falling, even though data proves otherwise. Part of that misconception is because people are getting their information from unreliable sources. But it's also coming from some media coverage misrepresenting what the data really shows. So to keep things simple, here's what you really need to know using real data you can trust. Normal home price seasonality. We're going to explain it. In the housing market, there are predictable ebbs and flows that happen each year. It's called seasonality. Spring is the peak home buying season when the market is most active. That activity is typically still strong in the summer, but begins to wane as the cooler months approach. Home prices follow along with seasonality because prices appreciate most when something is in high demand. That's why there's a reliable long-term home price trend. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed and FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a chart. It used data from Case-Shiller to show the typical percentage change for monthly home price movement from 1973 to 2022, not adjusted. So you can see the seasonality. You're seeing a 49-year average from 73 to 2022. Does that surprise anybody that the biggest gains are in the month of May? And in November and December, we're down around the smallest gains, still gains, but down around the smallest. The data shows at the beginning of the year, home prices grow, but not as much as they do when entering the spring and summer markets. That's because the market is less active in January and February, since fewer people move in the cooler months. As the market transitions into the peak home buying season in the spring, activity ramps up, home prices go up a lot more in response. Then as fall and winter approach, prices still grow, just at a slower pace as activity eases again. This year's seasonality has returned. Let's look at how this year compares to that long-term trend. We've got a graph of that as well. Surprise, surprise. Now, again, if you're watching us on any of our socials, any of the video streams, the black bars are the 49-year average. The green bars are 2023. You can see they almost mirror. Now, yeah, in March and April, prices did go up more than they do traditionally. But if you look, there's none of them are really where, I guess, August. Historically, it's 0.44, and this year we were at 0.4. I'll just call that a wash, right? It's not a whole lot of difference. Latest data for this year from that same source, just like before, dark bars, the long-standing trend, green bars, what's happening this year. Again, you can see that it's more normal. In a nutshell, nationally, prices are not falling. It's just that price growth is beginning to normalize. Moving forward, there's a chance the media will misrepresent this slowing of home price growth as prices falling. So don't believe everything you see in the headlines. Get your data from Ron Siegel Radio. The data included here gives you the context you need to really understand what's happening. So if you see something in the headlines that's confusing, don't just take it at face value. Ask a trusted real estate professional for more information. Remember, it's normal to see home price growth slow down as the year goes on. And that definitely does not mean home prices are falling. They're just rising at a more moderate pace. Bottom line, home price appreciation is returning to normal seasonality. That's a good thing. Here's another analogy for you. I like this one a lot. You're driving down the freeway, not today or tomorrow because you will not be able to do this, but you're driving down the freeway and you're in a 65 zone, you're going 80. Don't do that, but you just say you are. Well, you see the police officer on the right side of the road and you slow down to 65. You were going 80, but you slow down to 65. Well, are you going backwards? No, you just decelerated. Big difference. You're still going forward. Price still going up. Just a deceleration. That's the real-time real estate brought by rsrmoney.com. Real-time real estate brought to you by rsrmoney.com. Continue our conversation chatting with Patti Gregory this morning. She is one of those people that I just mentioned. If you want great information and you want to know what's really going on in your neighborhood, not what's going on, doesn't matter. When I give you national numbers, and the numbers I just gave you are national. If you want your neighborhood, call Patti. She'll be able to tell you what's going on exactly in your neighborhood because maybe the values are going up more than the national numbers. We're in Southern California. Our prices appreciate more than the national average. So you got to talk to somebody who knows what's going on your street. Just a bottom line. Patti, do you have people that are telling you that they're hearing about any of this the property values dropping, or they're waiting for property values to drop?
2 this week.
2 this week.
And I think two this week. I think interest rate drops, can buck that trend a little too, because it's going to drive up demand as interest rates drop. So that's what I'm seeing on the ground.
Well, here's my
And
worry
like
with.
you said, Orange County.
Go ahead.
What?
We have a little delay here, so go ahead.
Well, Orange County is so diverse, and every pocket, every neighborhood is so specific, and so knowing your neighborhood is very important, like you said.
Yeah, it'd be hard to really compare, and I'm not putting down or promoting any of the neighborhoods, but could you imagine trying to compare what's going on in Garden Grove or Stanton with what's going on in Newport Beach or Laguna Beach? Right?
Exactly.
They're radically different clientele, marketplaces, prices, the whole nine yards. But I want to throw another thought at you, Patti, and get your thoughts on this. So as interest rates go up, we get people that become paralyzed and don't want to do anything. They're going to wait for rates to go down. As interest rates have stabilized, maybe for the last, they've been kind of in the mid sevens to mid eights for, several months now. People are starting to say, okay, maybe they're going to stay there. So they start getting back there and getting active. As we now start seeing interest rates drop, do you think that the people are going to say, well, I'm going to wait for it to drop even further? Could that be the case?
I think the people that have needed to move, like we're working with a client that just had a baby, those are the ones that are going to pull the trigger now. The other ones are probably, yes, waiting for it to drop more, maybe at least in the sixes.
So we're back to our favorite conversation, which is the 6
Yes.
Ds. Right. So
yeah, absolutely.
Now, is that what you're seeing? When you'd mentioned having a couple of new properties that you're going to be helping people sell, and you've got some families that are looking to buy. Are there situations mostly in that 6 Ds have to scenario, or they want to?
Baby, job transfer. Those are
Okay.
the two listings I have coming up.
Baby and job transfer.
Yeah.
So those are people that really they have there's a catalyst for their activity. Okay.
Yes.
So we haven't got to the point where somebody just wants to
have those people.
Say that again?
Yeah, I don't think they're quite there yet. Even though we tell them, if you wait till prices drop and demand goes up, you're going to pay more. So I could shout that from the rooftops every day.
Patti, we need to find a way that we can get people to realize that in 2021, you and I were chatting, and our biggest problem was people making 20 and 30 offers on the same property. And we had price wars, bidding wars, and that property could only be sold to one family. So there was 19 others that were disappointed and frustrated.
And didn't get their
Go
house.
back to that again. I think we're going to go back to that.
Well, Barbara Corcoran's calling for when interest rates drop that the buyers are going to come out in droves. She's predicting a 10 to 15% increase in prices and similar demand to COVID. I don't think as crazy, but as soon as the rates drop, the buyers are going to just flood the market.
10 to 15% increase, huh?
Yeah, she came out maybe 2 months ago with that.
Well, something, and you think about something like that, and you say, okay, well, if she's correct, and you think about over $1 million median home price in Orange County, California, right? That's $100,000 to $150,000 in appreciation.
And it's going to price some people out of the market that could otherwise buy now. I did a video on an $800,000 property, because you're going to have, if you have even 10%, there's 80,000 plus overbidding. Then we're back to appraisal gaps and the whole mess.
Becomes a little more challenging. Thankfully, we've got solutions for all those with our lending team. But the bottom line here, we don't have the solution for 20 people wanting to buy the same house.
Right.
Josh, do we even have the name of I thought we got a name for it. Our perfect offer. I don't know. I'll have to find out what we did with that. But we actually did something showing how to get your offer accepted And if Patty, if you're right, if Barbara Corcoran's right, we're going to have to get into educating a lot of folks on how to do that perfect offer accepted, because it's going to be a big issue. Trying for people to get that done. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, are there actually more homes for sale right now? We'll talk to Patti Gregory about that. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your budget getting blown up with high prices of gas and increased costs for other household needs? This is Ron Siegel, host of the daily home and finance radio program. Did you know if you have a low interest rate mortgage along with auto debt, credit card debt, or student loans, your family could potentially save $500 or more per month by restructuring these debts? If you'd like a free Borrow Smart analysis with our team, let's book an appointment to see how we might be able to relieve some stress. Schedule your appointment at rsrbsa.com. That's rsrbsa.com for your free Borrow Smart analysis. rsrbsa.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. One of the best products I've seen in a long, long time. It's a 30-year mortgage with no traditional mortgage payments. Yet it pays off in about half the time of a 30-year mortgage. And the effective APR is generally, everyone I've seen so far has been under 4% effective APR. Great, great product. rsrhomeselect.com for more information. Are there actually more homes for sale right now? That's the question. If you're looking to make a move, you want to be sure you have the latest information on the housing market. To help make that possible, here's an update on the supply of homes for sale today. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, the number of homes available in your local market matters to you. Take a look. What's the truth about homes today in today's housing market? While the story for the past few years has been how few homes are on the market, recent national data may leave you feeling a bit confused. That's because Realtor.com shows inventory is actually growing a bit month over month in many parts of the country. We've been talking about that for a while. So we've got a map that I didn't send over to Josh. I should have, but so I don't have it here, showing that housing supply increased just over 5% last month. Does that mean the days of limited inventory are over? No. That might make you wonder, are the days of tight housing supply behind us? The short answer, no. Context is important. While you may see headlines saying inventory is up, data also shows there are still significantly fewer homes for sale than there would be in a more normal market. And I've got a graph here. Again, I didn't send it to Josh. I can't tell you to show it to you. The active listing account each October in 2017, there was 1,286,000 homes for sale. 2018, there was 1,304,000 homes for sale. In 2019, 1,208,000 homes. We take the unicorn years out. This year, 737,000 homes available for sale. That's significant drop from prior years. 737 against 1,000,003 in 2018. Lance Lambert, founder, Resi Club Analytics, explains, quote, housing market inventory is so far below pre-pandemic levels that October's big jump is still just a drop in a bucket, unquote. What does that mean for you? Remember, real estate is hyper-local. Partnering with a trusted real estate agent will help you gain a better understanding of the inventory situation in your specific market. If you're looking to buy, you may have slightly more options than you did in recent months, but you still need to brace for low inventory. A great agent will be able to share their expertise and key strategies that have helped other buyers navigate today's ongoing low housing supply. And if you're trying to sell, rest assured you haven't missed your window of opportunity to potentially get multiple offers and see your house sell quickly. While inventory has ticked up some nationally, overall, it's still low and maybe down in even more areas. Bottom line, if you're looking to buy or sell, give me a call. We will get you in touch with great real estate agents that understand this market. And I'm going to give you one example right here. I love using this example, and I haven't even looked at it today. I'm just going to pull it up right now. So if somebody were to tell you that amount of real estate available for sale in 92807, that would be Anaheim Hills, from the 1st of November, actually the 3rd of November, until today, is up 15%. What would you say? Amount of available inventory in Anaheim 92807 is up 15% since the beginning of November till today. Might say, well, that's a lot. That's a big increase. Well, let's take a look a little closer. November 3rd, there were 20 single-family homes available for sale. Today, there are 23 single-family homes available for sale. Numbers can say whatever you want them to say. You got to talk to a great real estate agent. Speaking of which, Patti Gregory is with us. She is one of those great real estate agents. And if you want that information I just shared with you, I get that all the time from our friends over at Altos Research. And you can get that as well. Go to rsrlistana.com. rsrlistana.com. That's going to give you Anaheim. You may not want Anaheim. You just put in the zip code you want, and it'll give you any one of the zip codes that are in the United States of America. rsrlistana.com. They track every home for sale every week at our friends at Altos Research. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. Patti, we gotta try and get some of these myths out of the way here that there's nothing for sale, because there are homes for sale. But those people that actually take action are going to be, in my opinion, they're going to probably be rewarded handsomely. What do you think?
Absolutely. They need to take advantage of the equity gain that's coming rather than wait. And now you've got to wait to build equity, because after this big jump, it's going to slow down again. And I just ran the numbers for Orange County on the break. Active listings at this minute, we're sitting at 2,357. Now, here are your opportunities. 843 price reductions, 863 that have been on the market over 30 days. Those are your buy down opportunities.
Okay, explain what you mean by buy down. Explain what you mean by buy down opportunities, Patti.
Instead of asking for, say they're at 800,000, instead of coming in at 860. Wait, I did it right. 800,000 coming in at 760. We're going to ask for a seller credit that's going to pay towards the buyer's interest rate reduction.
Yeah, and if you want to see something like that, we've done a lot of different trainings on that, and we really want you to understand rsrbuydown.com, rsrbuydown.com. We did a training on that, and you'll be surprised. If you do a $40,000, if you use the exact same $40,000, asking for a concession, you're going to come out tens of thousands of dollars ahead, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars ahead, when you look at the cost of money over time. Because again, we're probably going to be able to get, 1 to 1.5% below current market interest rates with that concession. That's coming off the property price, so we're not going to have a problem there with the property value. Big issue right there. So rsrbuydown.com. We explain how that works. I think you'll really like that. And
I did a YouTube video. Well, I did a YouTube video using that 800,000 price point, that if you bought now at say 7.5%, and you're at say 5,000. And then versus waiting, now you're paying 900,000 at a lower rate. It is a couple $100s a month cheaper. But if you bought now, refinance later, like you just said, over the life of the loan, it was like $800 a month cheaper.
$800 a month.
Taking advantage of
That's huge.
over the long haul. Yeah. But it's confusing. So I'm going to actually go to your buy down.
So there's two different issues that you just brought up there, Patti, that we can chat about. So if it's going to bring your payment down $800 a month, well, what if you could afford that higher payment? Now you can afford a more expensive property that might be what you really wanted. That makes sense?
Yes.
Right. So
versus waiting and getting priced out of the market.
Right. So you can go and get it instead of going to a 760, you get 800. If you're capped out on your ratios, then that's where the big benefit is going to come from. Is that you're going to be able to, instead of buying an $800,000 house, maybe you can buy an $850,000 house, get to save 5%, go to 810 or $40,000 on your concessions. Bring that interest rate down, which brings your payment down, which gets your debt to income ratios. And I know that sounds like a lot of confusing numbers. That's why you go and talk to experts, because a lot of folks don't understand these strategies.
Absolutely.
You
need a lender like Ron that is so well versed in this, that is able to explain it to everybody's individual situation.
That's the big thing. And I'm glad you brought that up, Patti, because you and I can do videos and explanations and tutorials. But until we get to talking to that individual, sitting down, Zoom or however, with that family, we're not going to get anywhere. It doesn't mean much because everything is so unique. We talk about $800,000, but if you've got a $400,000 budget, it's not going to help you at all.
Right.
What's your YouTube channel, Patti? Is it
and
easy
that's
to
paramount.
find?
It's almost like people saying yes or no to a house by the pictures.
Right. Pictures are a good place to start, but you can't finish there. Hey, as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. Hey, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We appreciate Josh and Sean. They're engineering us today. And if you have any questions, want to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.